Thank you, Madam Chair, and I apologize for my delay in getting here. I was also trying to cover a banking hearing, but I wanted to be here. Alzheimer's forces families to watch helplessly as their loved ones slip away. The high cost of care also frequently stretches families to the breaking point, as you've just testified. According to the Alzheimer's Association, we will spend $226 billion caring for people with Alzheimer's this year. And by the year 2050, the yearly cost will be more than $1.1 trillion. Now, when the director of the National Institute of Mental Health testified in front of the Help Committee during the last Congress, he noted that if we can prevent or even delay the onset of dementia, we could save billions of dollars. He also said that this is really a matter of choosing to invest in research now or choosing to pay up in a big way later on. Clearly, Congress is choosing to pay up in a big way later on. Congress has reduced the purchasing power of the NIH by nearly 25%. And last year, NIH spent only $562 million on Alzheimer's disease research. That's about 0.2% of what the disease cost us last year. Dr. Hodes, can you tell us very briefly how the reduction in support for NIH funding affected the ability of you and your colleagues to advance research on Alzheimer's?
Thank you, Senator Warren, for the question. It certainly is the case that the progress in Alzheimer's research is not being limited by great ideas or scientists capable of carrying out this research, but our ability to support it. And as in an earlier comment I noted, even if one looks at the number of outstanding applications that are currently being proposed by scientists and the proportion of those that we can fund, it is a conservative estimate that we could fund twice as much as we do now, simply of the outstanding meritorious ideas being proposed and being moved forward at a greater speed. And that's only really the first iteration, because undoubtedly with more resources we would be able to recruit new investigators, establish new infrastructure for more innovative approaches. So that's a first order response to your question.
That's right. So what you're really saying is we're funding half or fewer of the potential research avenues that might give us a cure for Alzheimer's.
Of the outstanding proposals that are currently being submitted to us, yes.
Thank you. And Dr. Peterson, could you just add to that, please?
Well, I think another ramification of that, Senator Warren, is the fact that with the reduction in federal funding, there's also a reduction of number of new investigators going into the field, and that's going to cripple us down the road. So if the young investigators see the old guys like myself struggling for funding in a research setting, they're saying, how am I going to survive? So I'm afraid that we're turning off a young generation of investigators that are going to be the ones who are going to lead us forth in the future. So I see that as a real concern.
So high cost right now by not funding Alzheimer's research, high cost long term. You know, every single member of Congress I've spoken with says that they support NIH and they support more medical research. But medical research takes money, and Congress has done absolutely nothing to actually get more money into the agency. The House Republican budget and the Senate Republican budget were released last week, and both say that they support medical research funding. But what the Republican budgets actually do is lower the budget caps that are already crushing our research agencies, making it likely that the agencies like the NIH would see cuts, not increases, under these plans. Now, earlier this year, I introduced the Medical Innovation Act, a bill that would boost NIH funding by about $6 billion a year. That's not enough, but it's a start. And we can do it without raising taxes, without gutting critical programs, without gutting vital research, and without adding a dime to the deficit. I hope that my colleagues who are serious about funding the NIH will join me in this effort or bring other ideas to the table, because talk is cheap. We have an opportunity to make a real difference in the fight against Alzheimer's, an opportunity to save billions of dollars in unnecessary health and long-term care spending, and to give families their loved ones for more precious time. We're going to miss that opportunity unless Congress steps up and funds the NIH. Thank you, Madam Chairman.